guys, welcome back to Life Talk with Lady T. In this video, we're going to discuss staying motivated. So on this journey to become an entrepreneur, there's so much that goes into trying to start your own business. I wish we could beat time, and I wish that we could beat our mind, because half the battle consists of time and getting past the thoughts that swirl around in our head when we want to pursue a new venture. So I wrote down a couple of tips that I've learned through life in starting my own business. And since one of my favorite YouTubers, Aaron On Demand, said, don't attempt to be an expert, I won't. I'm not an expert, and I can't tell you all the blueprint to do anything, because once again, my channel consists of you all going along with me on this journey to become an entrepreneur, on this journey to get our finances together, on this journey to learn to become a happier, better, more positive you. So, tip number 1 to staying motivated is writing down your goals. Writing down my goals is definitely something that I've done over the years, just like with journaling, because if you can write it down, if you can envision it, then one day you can hold it in your hand. You know, it's like you write down when you go to the grocery store and you write down your grocery list. I want flour, I need eggs, I need milk, I need rice. And then you go to the store, you buy it, you hold it in your hand. That's literally how a goal works. There are steps to going to the store. You go to the store, you know you gotta go to work, you need to make money
so that you can buy the stuff in the grocery store. You gotta get in your car, you gotta call your Uber, you gotta call your cab, you gotta hop on the bus, you gotta walk into the grocery store, you gotta go down the different aisles and pick up whatever it is, you gotta come back to the front of the register, pay for it,
and then do everything you did to get to the store back in reverse. So writing down your goals is effective and it works. It helps so that you can keep things in perspective and you always know what it is you're working towards. So that's number 1. Number 2 is getting organized. From a creative perspective, getting organized seems like a foreign thing to do for me. Being organized when you work for someone else is completely different than trying to be organized for yourself. As creative, I'm like all over the place sometimes. If I need to do something that has a certain amount of structure to it, I can't work in clutter. But if I'm creating something, I can work in clutter just fine. So getting organized is number 2. That goes right along with writing your goals down. And let's just talk about that for a moment. When you work for someone else and when you write on your resume, I am a very organized person. Yes, this is true. But you know that at the end of the day, you're going to go to that place of employment and you're going to be organized within a pre-existing structure. When you start your own business, there is no structure. There is no blueprint. So it's like you have to schedule time for you to do this. You have to schedule deadlines for such and such to be finished. You have to schedule time. Okay, I have to go to the store. I have to buy supplies for this. I need to send this promotional stuff to this company and have it printed by this time. So getting organized, that's one thing, because it's easier for you to continue to do something when there is some type of structural organization to whatever it is you're going to do. And this is funny, sleep. You gotta schedule time to sleep. And even me, I'm guilty of this. There are plenty of times when I may fall asleep in my bed with a book in my hand and a pen, and I can't even remember when I went to bed. All I know is that at some point I was writing down this, and then the pen went down, my eyes closed, and I wake back up, and it's time for me to get up in the morning and go back to work.
That's what, I don't even remember what it is that I was attempting to write down. I don't remember what the last thought I was before I closed my eyes. And if I managed to get anything on a piece of paper, it probably looked like scribble scratch. So
you need to create some type of organization and structure into your life, myself included. I have the organization and the structure in some areas I do not, but that's what you do. You try something, and then if that doesn't work, then you tweak it and you go back and you come back to the drawing board and you try something else. Now this next one, 3. You're trying to stay motivated. It's to push through. Push through. Because there are going to be those days that are just really crappy and nothing goes your way. And some days you just have to put on your big girl or big boy draws and continue. You have to push through. You can't blow off everything that you had scheduled for that day because you had a bad day, because you found out some bad news. And that's just the reality of it, because sometimes you can have a series of bad days. You can have a whole week of bad days. And if it's your business and you decide to take off a whole week during the inception stage where you don't have anything else in play, like you don't have any other employees to pick up the slack. So if you decide that you just don't want to do it, you're doing yourself a disservice. And you know what? I even have to admit this. You know, Sunday last week, I found out some bad news, and I had a meeting to go to. It was a women's networking event, and it was supposed to be nice at a lounge and wine and stuff like that. And because I found out that bad news, I just blew it off. I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to. And you know, that's sad, because at the end of the day, I know I think I've discussed it, or it'll be in the next video, that you can't miss your blessings. But there were opportunities that now I have to wait to get. I never know what I would have received, or what information or what words of wisdom would have been sown into me had I went to that meeting. If I had simply just pushed through. It was only 2 hours. If I took those 2 hours, put on my big girl drawers, and went to that meeting, who knows who I would have networked with, met, or what great things could have happened. But at this point, we never know. So I stayed home with my Oreos, and I worked on some marketing material. But at the end of the day, I was down. I was disappointed in myself, because I felt like, I let down the person that invited me. They went out of their way to make sure that I had the information, and they put me on the list, and they confirmed it. Staying motivated, tip number 4. And that is speak light. One of my first pieces or digital artwork was a picture of a woman, and you can see light coming out of her mouth. In that picture, I wrote on it, speak light. Because if you're going to speak at all, why not speak light? Why not speak positivity? The world is going to beat you up enough. So be kind to yourself. Speak light to yourself and speak light into others. Those are words that, I attempt to live by. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. I don't want to be a person that takes time out of my day or my schedule to speak negativity into someone. I only want to speak light. So truly, if I don't have anything nice to say, I'm going to be quiet. I'm not saying anything at all. Number 5, staying motivated. Be careful with who you tell your plans and dreams to. I'm going to say this once again. Being of the Christian faith, I do not believe that you can miss your blessing. I simply think that you can delay that blessing. in life, in order for you to get your blessing, you have to get from point A to point B. That didn't mean that you missed it. No one else got your blessing, but you have to get from point A to point B. So if point A is the idea has formed in your head, and point B is you executing that plan, and you tell your plan to the wrong person, and they manage to keep you stunted at point A, you haven't made it to point B to receive your blessing. So be very careful, mindful of who you tell your plans and dreams to. And I only speak about this from my personal experience, because the reality is not everyone wants to see you succeed. And I know the whole thing about speaking positivity, and if you put negative things out in the air, then that's what you're going to get back. So I'm not going to say this too many times, but the reality of it is not everyone wants to see you succeed. Now, it would be great if I could be like, everyone's my friend, everyone's wonderful. And some people are just, they don't not want to see you succeed. They're just indifferent. They just don't particularly care one way or the other. Some people are just so bogged down by their own heaviness of self-doubt that if you tell them a plan or an idea and they personally cannot see it for themselves, then they also can't see that plan for you. So they may spew their own self-doubt onto you. And so I would like to say it like this. Think of your plans and your dreams as your child, your baby. I don't have any kids yet, but think of it as your kid. Would you let any and everyone hold your child? Would you leave your plans and ideas with any and everyone without vetting them first? You want to see if you are on the same wavelength, if they share your same visions and your dreams, your positivity. Are they going to pour positivity and light back into you? I had to learn this the hard way. I'm one of those people that get really, really excited and filled up whenever I have a new idea, that I'm like a balloon. It's just like, yo, if you ask me, just like, so, hey, so-and-so, what have you been up to lately? It's just looking at me like, okay, that sounds nice. Or, I don't really see that for you. Or, you would do that? You're too shy. So from personal experience, be very careful with who you choose to share your plans and ideas with. Which brings me to number 6. Don't take it personal. I think of it as this.
It's not me. It's you.
In this case, it's not you. It's them. Don't take it personal. So if someone, like I just said, if someone is being very negative or they're telling you that you can't do something, don't always assume that it has anything to do with a trait or something that they see in you. There's the reason that they're saying this, to the point that you let it affect you. If they're saying that you can't do something and you know you can, then that is exactly what you do. You go forth and you do whatever it is you say you're going to do. Because, like I said, some people really, they don't think about it. They don't see it for themselves, and therefore they cannot see it for you. So where are we at now? We're at 6. So let's recap this. The first one was write your goals down, get organized, push through. If I'm looking down, it's because I wrote my notes down. Speak light. Be careful who you tell your dreams to, and don't take things personal. I was having a conversation with a coworker, and a coworker and I believe a client was in there. My coworker, the client, and I were talking about performing in front of crowds. Although I'm not a fan of being in front of crowds, many of the things I do involve just that. I mentioned that I get nervous in front of crowds, and I don't feel that feeling will ever go away. Side note, not all nervous feelings are negative. I also mentioned that those feelings of nervousness never prevented me from doing anything that I wanted to do, so I never viewed it as a negative. But here's where the conversation went left. They told me that I was shy and introverted, and I had to find a nice way to say I'm not shy and I'm not introverted. And the coworker of mine was saying, no, I said, I'm not shy, I'm not introverted. That's just people's perception. That's what they think. And she said, but you allow it, but you accept it. And all I did was I shook my head, said okay. And my coworker was absolutely right. I do allow people to assume whatever it is they want to assume. I'm not going to spend time nor energy attempting to convince anyone that I am not something that I know I'm not, but they think I am. If you guys are familiar with the serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I have the wisdom to know that changing someone's opinion is not something that is worth my time to do. Because I've always subscribed to the idea that whatever someone tells me they are, that's who they are. It's not up to me to explain, decipher, discourage, or tell them that no, you are this. Because who knows them better than themselves? So if someone was to come, this ties back into my speak light, speak positivity. If someone tells me they're a millionaire or they're rich, I would never stand and say, you're not rich, you work here with me. That's not my place. Plus, I don't know their finances. They do. So, don't take it personal. Sometimes it's them, it's not you. You know, someone tells me that they're a genius. I'm not going to tell them, no, you're kind of smart or you're stupid. Because once again, it's not my place. Let people be whoever it is they want to be and think they are whoever it is they want to think. Because once again, the world is going to beat you down enough that I don't feel the need to do it to others. I don't accept anyone to beat me down with their words. I will not allow it, and I won't do it to myself. And I feel like if the world could get on this wavelength of just positivity and sowing light into each other, that we'd be a lot better off. But unfortunately, that is not where it is right now. So therefore, I'm on a mission to surround myself with that light, with that positivity, with those positive reinforcements. Video's over, but I just have one more question for you. Why haven't you subscribed? You don't feel the positivity and the energy that is coming from this video? I just want to say thank you all for watching this video and staying all the way to the end. Find me on all of my social media platforms. Instagram, Life Talk with Lady T. You can check out my artwork at Toy B Creations. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I promise you all don't want to miss the amazing things that are going to take place on and off this channel. I really just want to create bigger and better dialogues. You know, I said in a previous video, I felt like I was surrounded by people that, you know, they kind of only had one way of thinking about things, or that's what they were comfortable with discussing, and I want to discuss different topics. So please subscribe. Thank you.